Yeah, hello guys. Yeah, now I'm the host. I'll quickly share the screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Recording is also in progress. Let's get started with integration testing today. So, as we know, like very first type of testing we have studied is functionality testing under black box testing. The second type is basically integration testing, and we have been learned that in functionality testing we are totally concentrated on component, correct? Testing each and every component thoroughly means testing it with each and every possible scenario, testing it with each and every angle which is possible, which you can thought of, right? The secondary integration testing mainly is dealing with the data flow and interface. Now, what is a data flow and interface? Try to understand. Basically, if you go to any of the application, let's take up something called as Paytm. We all are fond of that application, right? So basically, Paytm has different features, right? Different modules. Uh, First one, let's say the amount transfer. Second one, you can pay the bills, the bill module wherein you have electricity bill or something like that. Then third one is basically booking module wherein you try to book the plane tickets and all. Now, these all things are integrated with each other in order to work together. I can give you an example. For an example, if you're trying to book a particular flight, when you select the flight, fill up the detail, you click on proceed, you will go to the payment portal, right? That payment portal is from the nothing but amount transfer feature, and the details is from the basically flight booking module. So similarly, basically if you go to any of the feature, there will be some sort of integration between multiple features. I'll give you one more example. For an example, this is amount transfer, this is amount balance, and this is transaction. Now if you go and if you transfer some amount to other person, that particular amount needs to be deducted from your account balance, and that particular transaction needs to be reflected in your transaction, correct? It happens, right?
Yes.
Are you guys following up? Or is it like you guys are just busy with stuff? Can you guys unmute yourself and answer that whether you understood
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
trying to say? Yeah, cool.
Yes, sir.
Cool, thank you. So basic idea is that if you transfer some amount, that information or that data will going to be traveled from amount transfer feature or amount transfer module to another module, because that particular module will consume that data, and according to that data it will show the functionality, basically it will show the result. For the very small example of it is basically you transferred, for an example, you have your in your account balance 1,000 rupees, right? And you have transferred 100 rupees to other person. So your account balance now needs to show you as 900 rupees. But how this amount balance will get to know that how much amount you have transferred, that information is with basically amount transfer, right? So amount transfer needs to tell that what is the amount you have transferred to amount balance, so that it can show you the correct balance, correct? So the basic idea is that there needs to be a communication between different features, correct? In order to make it function properly, in order to make whole software function properly, you need to make them communicate, correct? That's what integrate means. If you see like IC, you ever heard about ICs? That green chip might have seen in your electronic devices. What is IC, guys? Have you ever came across that term? IC, integrated circuit.
No,
No. Have you ever seen that green chip in?
no.
No. Let me show you. It is something like this. Have you ever seen this in your
Yes,
mobile
sir.
phones? Also, you might have seen.
Yes, sir.
So the basic idea is
Yes.
that these all small components, they have been stitched in a particular board, and they do what they do, communicate with each other in order to provide you the service. Same thing happens with the software. If you talk about any of the software, right? For an example, this software also. So this, you can you can assume the small modules as the individual component here of that IC. We have stitched it here together so that they can communicate, and all together the software will be functioning perfectly. Because for an example, you're transferring amount again and again, and it is not getting deducted, it is not, amount balance is not showing correctly. Will this software be considered as functioning fine? Obviously no, right? So basic idea is that if you have different module, if you have different feature, multiple feature in a software, there is a definite chance that these particular modules will have data flow depending upon the logic. I'll give you one more example. We know how Gmail works, right? If we basically transfer, if we basically send email, for an example, we are filling all the details and we are sending an email, right? Once we fill the details and send the email, it will going to reflect in inbox, it will going to reflect in inbox of other person, and send item of your own mail ID, you can see it on the send item. And basically all mails and search mail, you should be able to see that particular mail. In here all the basic modules, right? So the moral of the story is that here the composed mail is the data which is being transferred from one module to another modules. And because in order to make this Gmail function properly, you should have that particular functionality, you should have that logic in the application. So in order to make whole Gmail function properly, means the functionality is like this only, right? Once you compose a mail, that should be visible in the send item tab, send item module. So in order to make it possible, you need to have a bridge, you need to have a communication link from here to here. And it might not be necessary with all of the module, right? If you do something on compose, there will be no difference in feedback of that Gmail, correct? There is no communication in compose and feedback of Gmail, correct? So it is not necessary. Wherever the logic is basically required, then we implement in this kind of functionality. So how does we do it? Basically, how does developer do it? Developer do create something called as interface. Interface is basically a bridge, you can assume it as a bridge, which will help the data transfer from one particular module to another module. Okay. So if they want some data to be transferred from compose and show it in send item, they need to create a bridge, they need to connect these two modules, and from that bridge the data will transfer from here to here. Okay. So that is called as integration. Now, what is integration testing? Integration testing is all about checking that data is being transferred from one module to another module properly or not. Now, the bridge. If I ask you about that particular integration thing or that particular bridge between the compose and send item, can you see that bridge? Can you touch that bridge? You can't see that, right? Because if you are using Gmail, you're just composing a mail, sending it, and going to send item page, and you are seeing that mail. But can you see that particular bridge or path through which that mail traveled from compose to inbox? Can you see
No.
that? Obviously, you can't see that. The basic idea is that interface, basically that integration, that interface is not tangible. You can't see, you can't touch it, right? But basically it is there, and you need to test that bridge is working fine or not. So for an example, oh sorry, for an example, let's assume this as a first module and this as a second module. Okay. And this pigeon is working as a bridge which will carry this mail, nothing but the data, from first module to another module. Now if I want to make sure this particular bridge is working fine, what I need to do? I will do what? I will go and ask first module to create a data. I will send it through the bridge. And if that data is being received properly at other end, I can make sure this bridge is working fine, correct? If you are at basically one end of the bridge, and you need to make sure that the bridge is working fine, you need to send someone from one end to another end. If he reached properly at the other end, means the bridge is working fine, or else the bridge is not working fine, isn't it? This is the simple
Yes,
logic,
sir.
isn't it? However, we can't see and touch the bridge in case of software, correct? So what we need to do, we need to just go to first module, create and send the data, and go to the second module and check that data is being received or not. If the data received properly, then bridge is working fine. If the data is not receiving properly, the bridge is not working fine, correct? You can we do this type of testing in case of testing the bridge? Obviously, right? We have no choice apart from this, correct? Okay, cool. So basic idea is that that's all about integration testing. If someone asks you if you want to do integration testing, so what exactly you will be doing? You will go to the first module. For an example, we are tend to do the integration testing between A and B. A is the first module, B is the second module. So I need to do what? I need to go to the first module, create and send the data to B. I need to go to the B and check whether B is receiving that data properly or not. Got it? Yes,
Yes.
no, anything? Cool.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So basically, let's take a live example. Let's take a real time example of it. Okay. For an example, you want to test FedEx. Now, FedEx do what? FedEx is basically a courier delivery company, correct? Yes.
Sir.
So if you want to test, let's assume FedEx has a bridge, right, which will carry data from your end to another end. So if you want to test FedEx is working fine or not, how will you test it?
By sending something to another
Yeah,
place.
correct. Let's say you live in Bangalore, your family lives in Mumbai. So what you will do, you in order to test FedEx, you will create a parcel. First of all, you need to create a data, right? You need to create a parcel. Then you will create a parcel. You will ask FedEx guy to take this parcel from your end and deliver it to the your home address, Mumbai. Now, once you do this, in order to make sure that data this bridge is working fine, what you need to do? Again, you need to make sure that at the other end the data is being received properly or not. For an example, the parcel is received, but parcel is broken. Can you say that the bridge is working fine?
No.
Obviously no, right?
No.
So the basic idea is that you just not have to be sure that data is being received, you also need to be sure that data is received as it should be received. Okay, so basic idea is that this is all about integration testing on a higher level. We do what the definition is saying, we do test the data flow, the flow of data from one module to another module, and also the interface, the bridge between these two modules. Now obviously you can't touch and feel the bridge, you can't interact with the bridge directly. It's something which is programmed. If you ask me in the software level, it's a program basically. So you can't touch that program, you can't feel that program. So basically, in order to test that, you just have to do one thing. You just have to create the data from first module, send it to another module, and check that is received or not. Got the understanding? Any questions around it? Any questions, guys? Or any other example you want apart from this? Do you want any example from Amazon? If you guys want, I can give few more examples regarding e-commerce website and all. Okay, let's take some example from your end. I want to see that how many of you understood it properly. So can you give me example from here? Amazon. Not Amazon Prime. This one. So can you give me an example of interface or the data transfer between two modules from here?
When I click on add to cart on a product, then it is showing in cart or
Card.
not.
Exactly. So basically, this is one module, landing page, right? We all already talked about it a lot of time, right? So this is one product. Let's say, where is that product? Yeah, this is one product. Okay, why it is not showing that? Okay, it's a coupon kind of stuff. So this is one product. Okay, it's in the landing page. If I click on add to cart, add this particular data, this particular headphone data will be visible in the cart for me. Correct? It's there in the cart. Means how did cart know that I have sent this data? How would the cart know if there is no data transfer from landing page to the cart? So there is a data transfer. There is an interface working from where? From basically your landing page to this particular cart module. And what we need to do as part of integration testing, we just need to create the data. Here we went to the product section. There is already a data. But if for an example you have no data, let's say you don't have any data in Amazon right now because it's in testing phase, right? Amazon is live. This is live data, that's why you are able to see. But when you are testing that particular software, the software might not have any data. So that time what you need to do, you need to upload a particular detail of a particular product and then try to add it to the cart. Means basically what you exactly doing, you are exactly trying to create a data, then go to the first module, then send it the particular data to another module, which is nothing but the cart. Everyone got the understanding? Yes, no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Cool. Now can anyone summarize what is the difference between module and a feature? I'm perfectly fine with your understanding with integration testing, but integration testing in the definition itself, we are talking about modules. So I want a specific clarity from your end, what exactly modules are, because many of you guys are not from the technical background, you might not be able to relate with that term. So what exactly module means, or what exactly feature mean? Anyone?
Sir, in modules, for example, we have mobiles. In
Okay.
mobile module, only mobiles and other mobile related stuffs will be shown.
Exactly, you're correct. I will just tweak your definition a bit. This bestseller is a feature. This new release is a feature. Okay, and this trending is a module. Means basically group of related feature is called a module. Okay, when you group related feature under one section, that section becomes a module. Any question regarding this? Are we clear on this? Like here you see, right, digital content and drives, devices. Basically here you have a lot more other features, right? Echo and Alexa, Fire TV, etc, etc. So here, if you see it here, right, you do have multiple features. These are links. This will show you a different page. Basically, if you group the relevant feature under one section, that section becomes a module. It's very common in the payment apps. Can you open your Paytm or PhonePe, whatever you have? Everybody have Paytm. Can you open that? We'll see the best example of it. Opened?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So if you scroll down in your Paytm section, you can see that there is UPI money transfer section. And then there is recharge and billing, recharge and bill payment section, correct? Then we have loan and credit section, correct?
Yes, sir.
So basically what I'm trying to say here, this recharge and billing have different features, right? It has mobile recharge, rent via credit card, DTH, electric bill, credit card payment, apps, Apple Store code, something like that, correct? So basically, what exactly this particular whole thing altogether called? This whole thing altogether called as recharge and billing payment module. Okay, why we are calling it a module? Because it has a collection of relevant feature. If you see it here, right, you will not see a irrelevant feature here. There is no loan kind of stuff here in under payment and billing, my recharge and billing, right? So basic idea is that only the relevant feature, when you group it, it will become a module. Got the understanding, everyone? Cool. So I think now the definition is more clear, isn't it? It is saying that testing the data flow and interface between two or more than two modules. Modules basically when you try to group basically a bunch of features. Now here, if you can see, right, where is that inbox? Inbox and send item, compose. Now if you see that compose is one module, under compose you have multiple feature, multiple things like save to contact, save to draft, or something like that, right? Or and all these features like to email id, cc, subject, body, and send and cancel button. These are multiple feature, and these are relevant feature to that compose. Then compose can be called as a module. And similar goes to this inbox. Inbox has serial number, subject. Inbox has different filters like sort by date, etc., etc. And inbox also have multiple features like commercial, spam under inbox itself. If you go to the your Gmail, you will be able to see it, right? So basically it's like different feature altogether, and that feature has a data flow. When the mail is being composed and send it to other person, that other person will get that particular mail in the inbox section, right? So definitely there is a data flow between compose and inbox, isn't it? Correct.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
wherever you see that, right, your requirement will not come like this, that you need to do integration testing between compose and inbox, compose and send item. As a software tester, first of all, you need to identify, you will see all the features all together, and you will analyze what all feature has the data flow, what all feature doesn't has any kind of data flow. So if you feel like, okay, these three features has the data flow, for an example, in this particular application, amount transfer, amount balance, loan, transaction, and logout. You know that amount transfer, amount balance has data flow. Loan and amount transfer will have data flow, correct? Loans and transaction will have data flow, because if you no, loans and transaction will not have data flow. Basically, if you do the transaction, you will definitely do it with amount transfer, basically, and amount transfer and transaction will have data flow. Logout will not have any data flow with any of the features, correct? There is no data flowing from logout to any of the feature, and it is not either coming from any of the module to that logout, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
no. So the basic idea is that you need to first identify, you need to practice this. This will not come in a day. You need to practice this. You will need to identify what all feature has the data flow, and then you can do what? Then you can basically do the integration testing between those features. Are we clear? Give me a second, guys. Hello. Yes. Yeah. I'm actually working. I won't do now. Now I'm not having any kind of plan for doing the. I'm actually in between a meeting. I'll talk to you. Okay. guys. So what we were talking about, you need to first of all identify which all features has the data flow, and then the second step will be doing the integration testing between those particular modules. Okay, so I'll give you a small assignment. You can choose your own website or whatever application you want to. You need to create a table like this. You need to create two columns. First column will be the sender, second column will be the receiver. Sender module and receiver module, and you need to note down which all module has the data flow, which is sending the data, which is receiving the data. Got the understanding, guys? Should I repeat the question? Repeat the assignment?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please repeat.
Okay, cool. So basically, first of all, you need to make two columns. First one, you will write a heading as sender module, and second one, you will write heading as receiver module. Okay, you will note down, take any of the website, whatever you feel like you are comfortable with, you have the understanding, and write down what all module has the data flow in this way. First, write the sender's name, the module which is sending the data, and second, write the receiver's name, the module which is receiving the data. Okay, give it a try. If it is not you are not able to do the assignment, then it's okay, don't worry about it. But yeah, let's give it a try. Okay, you can take any of the website which you are using in your day-to-day life, because for that website you will be having a better understanding. Okay,
Yes, sir.
before moving to that, can a module has a data flow between itself? Can a module have a data flow between itself? Means, for an example, compose is sending the data. Can compose become the receiver of that module? Not taking the example of exact compose, just taking an example of a module. Can one module send and receive the data? Is it possible?
Yes, sir.
How? Can you explain? Can you give me an example?
Sir, if in Amazon website we are reloading the page,
Mm-hmm.
if you
Then
reload the page, the data will transfer from the reload um, reload module, and again it will receive
reload
data.
is not module. Exactly, when you reload the page, what happens, right? For an example, you have done some action and it is not reflecting in your website, so usually we do reload, correct?
Yes.
So what happens exactly, it is the API, the basically the carrier which is carrying the data from server end to your end, it will re-trigger and it will show you the latest data which is there on the website. So basically it is not receiving sending a data, it's receiving a data basically. Okay, so it is not like you are saying, it's not the exact example of what you can say, but I can give you one example. For an example, we are using WhatsApp. Okay, so what we do, we use to upload the status, correct? So under status module, you are capable of uploading a particular picture, and under status module, other person are capable of viewing that status. So here the status module become the sender as well as the receiver of data, correct? For you, you will be the sender from your end, and other will be the receiver on the same module from their end. Okay, got it?
Mm,
Cool. So yeah, so this is the assignment you have got already. Okay, so try to let's try to see a few more examples so that you can anyone, I'll first of all give you a walkthrough of this particular website example basically, and then you need to tell me what all module has the data flow. First one is add user module, and you take it in this way. Here if you tap on add user link, it will open up add a user page wherein user need to fill up the detail, and basically clicking on create, it will create a user. And similarly, if you go to delete user, you'll get a list of user From there, you can select one or two user and you can delete. Edit will basically use to edit the detail of that user which is already been created. Okay. List of user will show all the detail, all the users which is there in the system. Okay. Purchase product will show what user has purchased what product. Product sale will show the number of product which is already in sale. Search user will basically will have a search bar. You will be able to search a user and check whether it is there in the system or not. Logout will simply log out. What do you think? What all module has the data flow? Guys?
Sir, please repeat the question once again.
Okay, sure. Am I less audible? Is it? Okay, let me repeat the question. What is happening here? We do have a website. I want you to analyze what all module has the data flow. So I'll first of all give you walkthrough of this whole website, whether how it is working. Then you can tell me what all module has the data flow. Okay. First module is add user module. Add user module will basically have a add user page wherein you can you will be able to add the details of a new user and click on create. It will create a user in the system. Okay, in the software you'll be able to see that user as soon as you add a user. Then you have delete module, delete user module. You will be able to see the list of users. You can select multiple users or one user at a time, and you will be able to delete a particular user. Edit user will explicitly you will be able to search for a particular user, or you'll be able to see the profiles of the user and you can edit their detail. For an example, in add user you have filled the phone number incorrectly. Now the phone number is changed for that particular user and you want to edit that detail, you want to edit that information, you can go to edit user and you can edit the phone number from here. Okay. Then comes list of user. List of user will show all the user which is already created and which is registered in your system. All the user you will be able to see under list of user. Product purchase. Project purchase will show what user has purchased what product. Product sale. Product sale will show what all product has the sale. Here user is able to add a particular product in their bucket or something like that. They can purchase a product and they will show you basically what all products are on sale. Then we have search user. Search user is basically you will have a search box here, search bar here, and you should be able to search a particular user and validate which is there, whether it is there in the system or not. Okay. And then logout. Logout will simply getting logged out from the software. So these are the modules. Can you tell me what all module has the data flow? Anyone?
Sir, add, delete, edit, and list and
One
sort.
by one. From you have to tell me in this format, from this module to this module. So you are telling me from add user module to delete module, you have a data flow, correct?
Yes sir. No sir, add user to sir वो database में वो store होगा ना वो जाके.
Correct. And then it will be fetched for edit user and delete user. So
Yes.
basically details, that detail which you have created from here, that data which you have created from here will get to display here. So there is a data flow from add to edit, correct? Isn't it?
Yes
Because
sir.
this
Yes,
is the
sir.
sender of the module, this is the creator of data, then this is the receiver of data. So from add to edit there will be a data flow. From add to delete there a data flow?
Yes, sir.
Correct, we have a data flow. From add to list, is there a data flow?
No, sir.
Isn't it? If we create
No,
a
sir.
user, you should be able to see that user under
Yes,
list
sir.
of users, correct?
Yes sir.
So there is a data flow, correct? Now
But sir, list of users fetching the data from database, no?
So you will get from where you will get the data in the database if you don't create the user.
Okay.
Yeah. So edit user and list of user has the data flow or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If you edit, let's say if you edit the name itself, so you should be able to see the difference, see the change in the list of user. Then delete user
Yes.
and list of user has the data flow or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Delete user and edit user has the data flow or not?
No, sir.
If I deleted a user, I should not be able to edit the detail, because basically under edit user, I should not be able to see that user itself, correct?
Yes.
So there is a data flow, isn't it? No? Yes? For
Sir,
an
sometime
example, there is, I'll tell you one more time. For an example, there is a user, you clicked on delete user, there is there is a particular user, correct? Here, the username is ABC and his phone number is 123. You did what? You deleted that user. Once you deleted that user, there is a call made from delete user module. The call is saying that I have deleted this user with this name and this phone number. Now that data will travel to database and erase that user from the database. And then list of user or edit user will fetch the data from the database and should not be able to see that user. So basically, there is an information transferred from delete user in order to delete that particular user. And you will be, if you are fetching the detail in edit user, basically that data is reflecting as that user is not there in the system. Getting my point? Every time the data might not be in this way, user detail is there or not. There might be chances you need to verify when you delete a user, it is not reflecting in edit user and list of user. Getting my point? Because it's delete user is making a call saying that I have deleted the user, a user have deleted that user. So that data is being transferred to database, and database is erasing that data, erasing that particular user itself. And you should not be able to see that user under list of user and edit user or any of the module, right? So how would you make sure the data which is being transferred from delete user is reaching out to database correctly or not? By seeing that,
By checking
by
list of
checking in the
users.
list of users, correct? So even you can check it under edit users, correct? If you go to the edit users, you can check that that particular user is there or not, correct? Got it?
Yes.
So the basic idea is that there will be multiple ways through which a data can be transferred, and data need not to be hard and fine data as a user detail. It might be a data which is traveling to the server side saying that I've deleted that user. That is also a data, correct? That is also a information, that is also a call. So in order to make sure that information is reaching out to database or server properly, you need to verify in this way. Got the understanding?
yes,
Yes?
sir.
No? Cool. I think I have covered everything. Initially, you guys have got the understanding of integration testing. I want you guys to likewise I have, yeah, told yesterday also. I will ask few questions regarding functionality testing, integration testing, and software testing, whatnot. What we have covered uh, till date. But today we already got some time on starting the class or something like that, right? So what we'll do it tomorrow. We'll start with that. We'll try to see what all things you guys have got, and then we'll start with integration testing. Chalega sabko? Cool.
Yes, sir.
But don't forget to do this in particular assignment, okay? I will take one or two assignments and we'll check that. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Any questions before we wrap it up for today from anyone's side? Shubh Lakshmi, Sashi, Salma, Ritika,
Sir, what is the syllabus for?
Adulita. Yeah. Syllabus. Syllabus. You can. there's no hard and fast syllabus for that, but yeah, you can take it in this way. We'll cover this. Uh, what is software testing, basics of software testing. I'm talking about the manual syllabus, okay? And then basically your types of black box testing. It covers 12 to 13 types under it. And then we have defect tracking, test case creation, and test case design technique, and there is SDLC, STLC test plan. These many things we're gonna cover, and this is frankly speaking, these are the some things which we used to use in our day-to-day life. Rest all things are more over a theoretical thing which we don't basically use. It's just like we used to study a lot more things which are not in use in our college, right? College days. So what we have decided to teach you that much thing which are actually useful for you when you start working in an industry. So we have those many topics to cover, and apart from that there will be some independent topics like test cycle and release and patch and something like that. And we'll get to know that in our day-to-day class, the terms which we frequently use in our industry. Okay.
Sir, a
Yeah,
link was provided for the syllabus in the morning.
Okay.
So, sir, can you explain according to that what we will learn in these 4 months?
Okay, give me a second. In the group?
Yes, what, sir? I will forward.
Yeah.
we don't get any syllabus in this group in manual testing.
Even I didn't get it.
Yeah, sir. So we wanted this. Actually, we want to know okay, what syllabus we will cover. I wanted to know, sir. There is some software SDLC models, waterfall model, and these are also important and will be covered in the classes.
Yeah. This will be definitely covered in the classes. You got the now basically what will happen? I'll tell you. If you are a fresher, these you'll get some questions in the interview regarding SDLC. But if you are experienced person, they will not ask you what is waterfall model and all. They will just ask you what is agile, how is your working experience with agile, what you have done, what you haven't done. Okay, there will be totally questions asked around your experience. Okay.
Okay, so we'll cover the agile model now.
Yeah, definitely.
And so there is
Sir,
some
forwarded the link in the group.
Okay.
so, testing principles is also important, or it's also a theory part only.
Yeah, it's a theory part only. Basically we do have like I don't usually cover that because it's not that frequently asked question in interviews also, and I do feel that it's not that important.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll cover it if you want. Okay. Okay, so let's go through the this link. So course introduction I have already given about industry team, different teams and IT real workflow. I'll anyways explain it with the period of time. It is not like one class for industrial experience or something like that. It will not happen in that way. You'll get to gradually know about what all things happens, and this team and all you will get to know when Agile got started. You will get to know that in detail. SDLC will cover, Agile methodology will cover, and then Jira basically will be covered under your project classes. So you'll have a separate project classes wherein you practice Agile and Jira. That will be there. Okay. Then software testing introduction. Basically, this is done. We have already covered this types of software testing. It's undergoing. This will be covering over the period of time. It will take more somewhere around 5 to 8 days. Then we have different level of testing, different level of testing in the sense basically under testing, over testing kind of stuff. Basically we're gonna cover that in detail also when we start writing the test case and all, no? That time we'll cover it. Then we have STLC will be covered. Test script development, this will get covered under your automation testing. Okay. Test script development, yeah, this will cover under manual also and automation also. Test script development is basically, if you are talking about a manual test cases, will cover under manual testing, and if you are talking about automation script, that will be covered under your automation testing. Okay, then test execution, basically whatever test case you have written, no, we'll try to write some test cases in the project class also, but in manual testing also, like manual class also, you will get to know that how to execute it. Basically whatever you have written, you need to do that action on the software and validate whether it is actually performing like that. I'll give you some example of the tools also here when we're gonna go through it. Defect report, defect lifecycle, this will cover for sure. Report generation, test summary, this will also be covered. Techniques for test script development, basically test case design technique, this will also be covered. Or QA end-to-end workflow, I'll tell you at the end of the session, at the end of the whole batch. Q test and all, this is basically your test case creation tool. I'll show you how it works. I'll not give you access or something like that in the class per Jira and all in the manual class, but definitely I'll show you how that tool look like and what is the basic operations you need to perform in order to create this test cases and defects and all. Okay, so I'll give you, you can understand in this way, right? These all things we're gonna cover, but these all things basically in manual testing you will cover under theoretical way, basically. Okay, so you'll understand what all things are. You'll create a base for, we'll create a base for you, and then in basically your project classes you can practice those in real time, right? So project class is not conducted by me for sure right now, but yeah, if in future I'll be conducting the project classes, we'll do it together. Okay, got it, guys? So I think I've covered that manual part. Any questions?
Sir, if you can get a syllabus like what we are studying regularly, so it will be easier for us.
What we are covering regularly.
But yes,
So yeah, it will be in this way only. No, you have that black box testing list with you, right? In the first
yes.
PPT. So we'll cover that, the first three type of testing from there: integration, system, and functionality. Then we'll jump on to I don't have written content for that. Then we'll basically jump on to defect tracking, then test case creation, and then we'll come back to the types of testing again. The rest all types we'll cover first, and then we'll go to the STLC, then STLC, and basically your the rest all topics which we have in that way. Okay.
Sir, all those comes under manual.
Yeah, everything comes under manual testing.
So automation,
Automation,
you won't be
once you'll get it. No, automation I won't be teaching for sure. That is for sure. After manual, you have to give mock, and then your project classes will go on. Then after that, you will start with your project classes. Okay. Got it? After project classes, you have to start with your automation classes. Sorry. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Any other?
So mock will be like what test, like what questions?
I don't know how they conduct the mock, but yeah, there is some sort of analysis done by them in order to understand how much you understand, basically. So it might be mostly, I think it will be similar to the interviews only. They will ask you questions and you need to answer it like verbally.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why we are trying to prepare it hand in hand, right? Once we complete one or two topics, we'll try to ask some questions. You guys have to prepare, and then in this way you will put a very less effort in order to prepare for mock if you have already gone through everything beforehand. So we'll try to do in that way. Okay. Got it, guys? There is very less amount of question asked by you guys. That's kind of a problem right now. I would say problem, because I'm not getting how much you guys are understanding. So please bring up your questions. If you are not understanding any point of time, we'll invest a lot of time in clarifying your doubt. That is for sure. We'll sit together, we'll analyze where you are, what's the problem. Even though you are feeling like I'm not at all understanding, the understanding is at 0%, we'll try to bring that up. We'll try to bring that up. Mostly I make sure that everyone is getting at least 75% what I'm trying to say. If you are getting somewhere around 75%, even 60 also, then basically you guys are at a good state, because every person has a different understanding and perspective. No, some point of understanding, some percentage of understanding you will only get when you start reading out by yourself. So I want you to create that. I want to create that particular base for you guys, so that you can go and analyze by yourself, you can go and research by yourself. Because now if you go and research, you might get things wrong that we don't want. But you have to be in such a state wherein if you start your research, you should not go in a wrong direction. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Cool. So what we'll do, we'll have a Q&A session also tomorrow, and we'll try to analyze what is the amount of understanding you guys have, and then we'll individually I'll ask questions, right? Anyways, there is somewhere around 12 to 15 people only joining, so we can point out people and we can ask them questions. Like don't feel in that way. Sir have asked me question and I was not able to answer. It's okay. Not every time you'll get everything. It's okay, don't feel in that way. But yeah, definitely you have to analyze yourself and you have to work harder if you are not working. Okay, cool. Okay, then see you guys tomorrow. Keep your spirits up, start studying, you'll get a job soon. Thank you, have a great day ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.